Hare Krishna. So we are, I think we have completed till 323. 320. Last time, anyone remember 323?
Krishna. Until 324, I think, Prabhuji.
324. Okay. Okay, so that's for the chapter, right? So so some chapter, right? Karma Yoga. Yes. So just to recap, right? What we have seen till 24. So the second chapter, after Krishna explains about Sthita Pragya, then Arjuna asks the question, right? And the conclusion becomes like intelligence is better than action, right? Because you can achieve peace. So then Arjuna gets this question, what is better? And he will learn. I'm confused. So whether I should renounce or I should take action, means I should fight or I should not fight. The company will look like you should not fight because intelligence will give them peace and happiness, everything. So then Arjuna asked this question, right? So what is better? So then Krishna explains like in the second chapter, in the previous conversation, he explained about two kind of people who try to achieve the perfection. One is Jnani and one is doing Karma Yoga, which is Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? So actually like Nishkam Karma Yoga purifies our heart and then we are qualified for Jnana. Right? So, but if your heart is not pure, you should not do Jnana, you should do Nishkam Karma Yoga. If you cannot do Nishkam Karma Yoga, better to do Karma Kanda. Right? So that is what Krishna explains in 1 to 10 and then 10 to 16. Right? If you cannot do Karma Yoga, right? Karma Yoga means giving attachment to the results. Right? So desire for results. So if you cannot give up that desire, then at least do Karma Kanda. The Karma Kanda means like sacrifices, right? So you do something for devatas and then devatas will please you. Then you offer your results back to them and then continue this cycle. Right? So where Krishna says like if you don't give them back, then that is a sin. But the person who does karma in such way but offers the result back, he will not get any sin. And then then Krishna says like even if like Arjuna, because Arjuna is at little bit higher level of consciousness, like so Krishna is telling him you better you do Nishkam Karma Yoga because your heart is not pure yet. Why Arjuna's heart is not pure? Because he is saying that he cannot fight, he cannot kill his enemies, right? Though their father or whatever, he says he cannot do that. So his heart is not pure. It's about his dharma, about his duty. And he has some desires to fight or not fight. So Krishna says, better you do Nishkam Karma Yoga. And actually Arjuna is very learned. So Krishna is telling him, you don't renounce. He can renounce also because he has all the knowledge. But Krishna says, no, you do Nishkam Karma Yoga. Why you do Nishkam Karma Yoga? You to teach people in general, right? So to set the example, right, correct example. So I think that is where we are, right, in the conversation that Krishna is telling Arjuna that you do Karma Yoga. Then Krishna gives his own example also, right? That he don't have to do anything in this world. He does not want anything from this world, but still he is working. Then he also gives example of Janak Maharaj and his own example, right? Krishna being supreme, he has everything. He is self-sufficient, but still he works just to teach the people. And uh, then after giving his this example, then Krishna, these are small notes that I have, right? So uh, then Krishna also tells Arjuna that even if you are a karma yogi, means you are not attached to the results, but still you should not disturb people who are attached to the results and working like that. This is very practical advice Krishna is giving, right? So sometimes it happens like when we start reading Bhagavad Gita, we start chanting, and then suddenly we think uh, uh, we have some knowledge, right? Of course, we have some knowledge by reading Bhagavad Gita, trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, and then we get this knowledge that we should not be attached to the results, we should be equal in happiness and distress and all that. So I've seen like people who have started practicing some spirituality. They try to advise general people, right? Oh, what you are doing, this is not correct. The way you are doing this activity is not recommended in Shastra. Better you don't do such type of action because it will bind you. Something like this philosophical discussions they do and try to preach to the people, right? But that is not recommended by Krishna. He says, no, don't disturb the people who are attached to the results. So generally, the same action is same, right? Means somebody may be going to office who is karma yogi or who is normal karma kanda, doing karma kanda, like just going to office and getting the money and enjoying, right? So it's a normal person, karma yogi. Yeah? So both the actions may be same, right? Going to office, but the purpose and the intention of both may be very different, and that may not be visible from outside. It cannot be seen grossly, but because it's all internal, right? How your intention is and what you want to achieve from that action. So a person who is trying to practice the spirituality, right? Who is trying to give up the attachment to do Nishkam Karma Yoga, or who is Jnani, right? He understands that who his own identity, so he's not attached to results. So he may go to office, he may do the same activity of IT work or management, whatever, but he's not attached there, and he does not expect anything for himself. So he may go to office that, okay, I will go to office, I will do my work, I will get some money, and then I will use this money for some spiritual activity or some bhakti activity. So his intention may be different, and that cannot be judged from outside. But same action done by a person who is attached to the result, right? So he goes to office, he wants more salary, he wants a better position, so he works very hard. So he tries to get some results out of it for his personal self. So uh, outside the activity may look same, but intentions are different, and the actions results are different. One may get bound, other uh, may not get bound. He may be free while doing all the activities. But Krishna is saying that even if you know how to do the activity and how to be detached, you should not disturb people who are attached. Uh, rather than stopping them to do activity in wrong way, try to engage them in the same activity. Try to give them some knowledge. So how he should act. But not giving knowledge does not mean that we directly go and preach that person and tell them that you are wrong and all these things. Right? That's not the way Krishna is telling Arjuna also. Right? So Krishna is very considerate, very liberal, and he accepts that person also with attached to the result. He has not, Krishna has not rejected karma kanda. So that is also specified in the Shastra that you can do karma kanda, you can go to devatas, you can worship them, you can get result from them, and then you can enjoy. There are so many examples, right, in all the pastimes, right? Many demons are there, Ravan, Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu. They did all tapashcharya, austerity, and they pleased some devata, and they got them benediction, and they enjoyed. Right? So uh, uh, Krishna has not rejected karma kanda process. Right? He specifies that in Shastra. He specifies that in Bhagavad Gita also. Right? So why we should be so orthodox and criticize people? Right? It's not correct. That's not the way to preach. So why Krishna is saying, don't stop them. Right? Rather engage them in those activities completely, full surrenderly. They should act. And then they will understand how much happiness or how much peace they get from that activities, and then you try to tell them. So sometimes sometimes I've seen several times, like devotees also try to be a little bit fanatic and uh, try to preach in a way that actually upsets the next person, right? And he suddenly starts thinking, oh, what? So whatever I'm doing is wrong. Huh? That's what you mean. But the meaning is not that, right? We try to preach to give some knowledge, but if we don't preach correctly, if we don't give correct examples and references from Shastra, then the person whom we are preaching may feel offended. And that's not the purpose of Krishna consciousness or bhakti, right? Krishna says like your words should be uh, pleasing to the next, to whom with whom you are talking. It should not harm them. Uh, So we should be very careful when we make some judgment or pass some judgment about somebody, or we conclude somebody's nature or somebody's intentions. We should be very considerate. There's no need to hard and direct sentences that hurts people. Right? Rather, let them do their activity, and they will also see what you are doing. You are also doing the same activity, but they themselves will ask like, oh, you are also doing job, but you don't feel stressed out. Why? Then you get some opportunity to give them gyan, right? So then you can give. So it depends on how you behave while doing the same activity. Rather than stopping them, better to engage them and show them how they should act. Right? Then they will ask the question, you are doing the same activity, but looks like there is something different. Right? The way you are doing, I'm doing. And which, so this Krishna tells him, I think 25, 27, right? And then Krishna also tells like these two people, right? They are doing the same activity, but how to understand the difference, right? How I can recognize who is doing correctly, who is not doing correctly, right? So a person who is attached to the results, right, plus or minus, he always has sense of I, yeah? Like I am the doer. I am doing this activity, or something good has happened because of me. That type of language, um, even if not directly language, body language, they have that I'm doing something, and because of me, something is happening. And that is the, this is very 27 is very famous word, right? Prakute kremanani gunai karmani sarvasya ahankar vimudatma karta iti manyate. Why he thinks like that? I am doer because of his ahankar, that is his ego. So why he thinks, why this is wrong understanding? Because there is no action in this world that can be done by one, or any action does not have only one cause, like myself. There are different participants or causes of one action. So Krishna give those detail in 18th chapter, right? There is, I am there, my endeavor are there, my desires are there, the Paramatma gets involved, my senses get involved, and then actually one action happens. Like, so if I want to watch the TV, just I sitting in this room and thinking, oh, I want to watch TV, does not fulfill that action. So first is I have to desire, then okay, I have to go to the room where the TV is there. Then I have to switch on the TV. Then I have to take the remote, and then I have to switch on the remote, and then I press the channel that I want to see. Then I can see. Even if the TV is on, if I close my eyes, I cannot see. So then I have to open my eyes, and then I have to look at the TV, and then hear the TV. Then that action of watching the TV is done. So just this simple example, you see, there are so many factors involved in that one action. So if I think that, oh, because I wanted to watch this TV is on because of me, that's not correct. It was first your desire, and then you took so many actions and so many things got involved in it. So if I say it is because of me, then that is ignorance, and that is not correct understanding. So it is coming from ahankara vinuratma. It is from sense of self, that I am the doer of this action. So that way we can notify. But the other person who knows how many factors are involved in a particular action, or when particular thing is established or accomplished, he knows that I'm not only the doer and there are several other factors. So he does not go into pride. He does not talk from his ahankar. He understands the reality, right? So he is always sober. Even if something happens through him, right? And also he is very, these people are like, they become like to the ground. They don't think that I have done something because they have proper knowledge. There is one example of this. So he knows that all the activities are done by the gunas. And how the gunas are involved, there is example, like the same example of say seeing, uh, any sense, like they say I is the simplest example, right? So when I say I am seeing by my eyes, so what are you seeing? Oh, something you are seeing. So how this action takes place, right? We have to have that knowledge, right? So I desire something that I want to watch, and because of that desire, the signal goes to my eyes that I want to watch something. So in Hinduism, like we have Devata, or we say in charge of eye, right? There is one in charge of eye who has to be active when I send a signal that I want to see something. When I desire that, then all the prana or air, right, in my body and mind compose that air, and my eyes start opening. And then I look at the object, say TV or phone, whatever. Uh, So, how the gunas operate? So, if I am in Sattva Guna, I will like to see some spiritual thing, or I would like to hear some bhajan. If I am in passion or ignorance, I may say some movie. In that movie also, it can be a devotional movie, or it can be just a hardcore fight movies. So that is ignorance, right? So passion and ignorance. So based depending on my desire, I can see different things in different mood, and that operates as per my mood. So it's not that I am controlling something. No, I'm just desiring, and as per the guna, I will see something. So a person who is knowledge, I means the soul. Soul is not doing anything. All these thing is happening because of the interaction of gunas and the objects and the senses. So he is very detached. Then, then the question comes, right? Okay, there are two categories. One is not attached. Okay, he is Nishkam Karma Yogi, but the other is attached. Then question will come, why? Why that person is attached? So that answer Krishna gives. That the person is attached to something because of the senses. So my eyes, my hand, my mind, my ears, my tongue, I want to do something with this because to satisfy myself. uh, so I take the actions and I get attached to it. So I want to watch a movie, then I will contemplate on the movie and my desire, and I will start liking that movie and those characters. So I may watch it again, right? So that type of thing is like our senses get controlled by the objects of this world. So then, so that's why the person who is attached will work through the senses. So then Krishna says, so Arjuna, you are learned person, you know all this. So you have this gap. So rather than getting attached to something, like what is Arjuna is attached that he don't want to fight. Uh, though he's supposed to fight, he don't want to fight. Why? The reason, there may be several reasons he's putting, but ultimately what he says, I cannot fight. He puts down his uh, bow and arrow. Right? So he's attached to something. So Krishna says, don't be attached. Give up this possessiveness. Possessiveness is a very crucial word, very important word here. Possessiveness like is something that I want, something that is mine, and I want to control it. Give up that and fight because you are learned. So again, Krishna advises Arjuna that you fight Nishkam Karma Yoga. He says, he don't recommend Gyan because Arjuna is Kshatriya, so he should fight. That's the best thing for him. So then Krishna tells further that those who follow my teachings, like what he has explained till now, they will not get bound by the actions. But if you don't follow, then you will be bound. Bound means what? Karma. You get the karma reaction. So, but then Arjuna might think like, okay, so if Krishna is telling this in Bhagavad Gita, and people also know this, but still people do something. Why people do some that way? So Krishna tells in 33, like people work in a particular way because of their past experiences. So in past I have tasted gulab jamun, I liked it. So even if I get high sugar, doctor recommends me not to eat because of my experience of tasting that gulab jamun and how tasty it is. I may do the same mistake. I'm attached to that taste and that happiness of what the object gulab jamun, right? So sense objects in this world are the reason they have attachment and aversion in them. Right? So how to understand this is the same gulab jamun, I may like it, but other person may not like it. It depends on individual. It applies to any object in this world. I may like some movie, other person may not like. I may like one car, other person may not like. I may love this, I may like this house, others may not like this house. Uh, Tomorrow weather is good, so I may like to go to onsen or beach or something. Other may not like. So any action or any object in this world has this attachment and aversion inbuilt in it. Okay, and that's how these objects control us. Like or you don't like, based on your past experiences. So that's how either we get attached or we hit. I don't want to go to work. So I try to avoid that thing. So Krishna says, like Arjuna, this is very complicated. You are Kshatriya. Uh, just you fight instead of thinking of renouncing or all these things. Just you fight. That is better for you. That is your dharma also. Right? Says like you do your dharma. That is always better. So here then Arjuna gets questioned. So Krishna is telling all the knowledge of what is good, what is bad. And if we follow his instruction, we will not be bound. He's telling everything, but then why people do the wrong actions? Like if all the Shastra is explaining why people do wrong actions or they are forced to do. So this question Arjuna asked in 36. So what is the cause people will do something? Oh, they know it is wrong. Then Krishna starts answering the reason. So he tells that Kama Isha, Krodha Isha. Lust. So language, what is lust? Lust is our desire. Our desire, our strong attachment to something. This is the only reason. So if your lust is fulfilled, means your desire is fulfilled, you are happy. If your desire is not fulfilled, you are angry. And angry on whom? Those who try to stop our desire. Okay. So Krishna says this is the only reason of all the problems. Then Krishna explains where this lust is, right, in our body. It's not outside, it's within us, like mind, intelligence, and senses. And then he says these are the places where the lust are. So in simple language, like when we say lust, it looks like something greed or something like that. No, it's just a simple desire. So even if I have a simple desire, if that is not fulfilled, I will get angry. That we can experience day to day. So any simple desire may be cause of our anger. So then Krishna tells all this like lust is where lust is situated and you should try to control. So he says like because mind, intelligence and senses is the places. Then he says, okay, how to control it? The question will come out. How I overcome this lust, right? So then Krishna says the easiest option is senses, because senses at least we can see, right? So if it is in mind and intelligence, they are not visible, they are subtle. It's very difficult to control the subtle things. So Krishna says, better you to control the senses. Uh, Mind and intelligence you cannot control, very difficult. But at least senses you can somehow restrict, right? I can control my tongue, eating habits, and speech. I see, what I touch, what I hear. I can at least do that thing, right? So he says you start from senses, control your senses. And mind and intelligence very difficult. Then Krishna tells like why it is difficult, because mind is subtler than the senses, intelligence is still subtle, and subtle things is very difficult for you to control, for anybody to control. So he says better focus on senses. And then Krishna says there is also one way to control the mind and intelligence. You understand by purity of your heart, you understand Jnana, who you are. What Krishna has told in the second chapter, right? Sankhya philosophy, that Jnana, you are not body, you are soul. So he says you are actually much subtler and higher than intelligence. So if you know your real identity, it's very possible to control this lust. But if you don't know your real identity, will be very difficult. Then you have to focus on senses and all those things, right? Which is not easy for anyone. So this way, Krishna takes Arjuna's consciousness to a higher level that is taking to the same jnana thing, right? That you are something higher, Arjuna. You are saying I don't want to fight. And the reason for that, so Arjuna's situation also said, right? As a Kshatriya, he knows he should fight, but he's giving several reasons not to fight. So, he is also understanding that he's doing something wrong is happening. So he asked that question. And then I use this very important section of Bhagavad Gita, right, about this lust and how to control the lust. So lust is not always about the opposite sex or something like that. No, any simple desire that will control us is lust. We can see, right? If I want to eat something or if I want to hear something and I'm very desperate about it, I will do anything to eat that or to hear that or to see that something. And if somebody stops me, I get frustrated, I get angry on that person or that situation, and we try to avoid it. It's regular in our day-to-day life. So when we face all these such situations, right, we try to apply this knowledge, right? Why I'm getting angry, why I'm getting frustrated, and best point is not the best point. The worst point is every day we get angry by the same things. Though we have this knowledge, though we understand the gunas and everything, but still we get angry by the same situation, by the same people, by the same sentences, by the same sight, saying same people. We get angry day after day, year after year. We are not able to overcome it. So we try to avoid. We cannot avoid. Then we get angry. Why I am not able to do it? It's a very practical question asked by Arjuna, and Krishna gives the reason why you are not able to overcome this habit. It's your desire, it's your lust. So you are in ignorance. You don't know your real identity. You are think that you are senses. That's the all problem, right? So here the conversation, Krishna answers the lust and how to overcome the lust, and what is your identity. So he again takes the discussion towards the jnana, that you should know your real identity, and that is you are higher than the intelligence. So you see the flow is karma yoga. He tells Arjuna, do the Nishkam karma yoga. And there also he says, Arjuna, to do the Nishkam karma yoga also you need knowledge, so that you are not attached. So to fight also, Arjuna, you need knowledge. You understand who you are. You forgot that. So we also, when we are doing all the activities and all the actions, right, it's good to remember or to practice this, right? We have to practice because we may not have imbibed that in our soul and mind and everything and intelligence. So we have to practice it, and that is our sadhana bhakti. Every day we practice. We practice hearing, chanting, reading about Krishna and bhakti, and by that we get knowledge, right? Who am I supposed to be? Okay, so I spoke, I think, a little bit more today. Sorry for that, but now I will stop and it's open for any discussions or further points or questions or comments, or we can share what they understood from this section.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I actually have a question, Prabhuji. It's more like something that I would like your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to address three things, Prabhuji. One thing is sincerity. The other thing is guilt and shame. Like, the thing about sincerity is that to the outside world, we can pretend to be sincere, like putting on a I mean, if you're at work, you can just say like you're sincere, you're working the whole time, and whatever you portray, only the other person who's looking at you, who's your superior, can see. But when it comes to practice of bhakti, it is like there is nothing we can hide. There is nothing we can hide from Krishna. So it's like Krishna is always there watching. So every insincere moment he can see, as in like you were addressing lust, right, Prabhuji? There are like many moments of all these small pleasures that we crave for. There is the knowledge that this is lustful, but yet when I indulge, I'm not able to completely feel that happiness that I indulged and I got it, because I have the knowledge that it is lustful. And I always carry a sense of shame after that, but still I'm not able to stop that from indulging in that desire. Can be as simple as eating something or watching something, things like that. And also, when choosing the practices, the 8 things that we are supposed to practice, the things that feel easy to me, I'm ready to follow. Like for example, Shravanam, Kirtanam, these things are very close to me. So I rather prefer that instead of and reading, of course. Other than these three, the other things feel very difficult to do, and they feel very restraining to do. But then I know I'm supposed to do that, but then there is a sense of shame after that, like when I don't do it. But also it feels very restricting when I say like, okay, this is what I should do, this is what I should do. Even the family that I come from is very ritualistic when it comes to fasting, diet and practices and religious rituals, but I never like I always felt like confined. Uh, so how do we I know like this shame is there because I have the knowledge that what is right and wrong, but how to address this, Prabhuji? Because I know it's like waste of, we should work on it, but I am feeling this. So how do we overcome this, Prabhuji?
Yeah, so I think it's not only your story, right? It's my story also. I think everybody's struggling the same thing, right? We know that this should not be done, but anyway, we do it. And after doing it, we feel very bad. Oh my God, we should not have done this. And the more heartful or feeling is that when we are doing that something that is not supposed to be done, at that particular second, fraction of second, we get this remembrance. I should not do this.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
but I ignore that something that I should not do it, and I do it anyway.
Yes,
And
Prabhuji.
then after doing, we feel very bad. Oh my God! But see, this is the uh, see, one way is you feel guilty, you feel shameful, but what prefer to look how to look at it, right? Uh, is of course being guilt or being shameful is a sign of sincerity, right? You condemn what you have done,
Yes,
right?
Prabhuji.
That is one sign of sincerity, and that yes, I want to improve, so I'm feeling guilty, yes. But what happens is, like, if we every day do the same thing, right? And we doing same thing, and then we feel guilty, same thing, and we feel more guilty. uh,
Yes, Prabhuji. Mhm.
it keeps happening, right? But
Yes.
one thing that I felt helps us is what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, right? Daivi esi gunamai, mama maya duratam. This energy, external energy of mine is not easy to overcome. Krishna tells himself, he is telling in ninth chapter, right?
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
not easy to overcome.
Mhm.
So we are fighting with that, right? Our own desires. But
Yes, Prabhuji.
when we lose, right? What I mean lose is we surrender to that
Desire. Yes,
desire.
Prabhuji.
It's
Mm.
fine. Means how I look at it, it's okay. That uh, problem is we think that if the desire comes, okay, I
Mhm.
will control myself. Okay,
Mhm.
that is also a desire, that if something lustful or something that is I'm not supposed to do, I will not do. Okay,
Yes, Prabhuji.
I
Mhm.
have knowledge now, I will not do. But again, we lose. right? So this is Krishna's great energy, right? That okay, you say you will overcome your desire and you will control. Huh? If I
Mhm.
give that situation, you are saying you will control everything, and
Mhm.
you will not fall.
Mhm.
Then Krishna says, okay, I will give the situation again. Again we fall, right? So
Yes,
then
Prabhuji.
Krishna says, like Krishna might be thinking, oh, you were saying that you will not fail, but you see, you fail, right? So, what how I look at it as, okay, Krishna, I cannot do this. Okay,
Mhm.
I will fail. I know I will fail. Okay, and I don't want to try this thing to
Mhm.
control. Okay, I know you can make me fail anyway.
Mhm.
Whatever, how much I am determined, you will make me fail. That is for sure. You means like, of course, Krishna's energy, like this material energy also is the energy.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
Krishna is saying like, you cannot overcome my energy by your own endeavors. So rather than feeling guilty, or it's good to feel guilty, but it's much more positive. It's on positive side or encouraging side when we accept our loss to Krishna. Right? Okay, I cannot. But still,
Prabhuji.
what happens? Like, even if today I say, Krishna, uh, I cannot overcome this lust,
Mhm.
okay, and these
Mhm.
desires.
Mhm.
I'm means I give up, okay.
Mhm.
So I will not try to control and anything. That
Mhm.
actually little bit helps because we are actually surrendering to Krishna that I cannot do on my own. I
Mhm.
want your
Mhm.
help to
Mhm.
overcome this, and if you help, I may be uh, able to do. Okay, so in this also there is a trick. Okay, today I surrender to Krishna.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, Krishna, I cannot do. You help me. Then also Krishna might be thinking, okay, you are saying you are surrender. Okay, next day again the same situation comes. Okay,
Mhm.
and again I say, okay, Krishna, I am surrendering to you, but that situation will not change. You will be facing the same situation, and at certain point you again fail
Yes,
to
Prabhuji.
surrender. Okay. So you fail to surrender, you fail to control. So you are lost from both the sides.
Mhm.
But then also it is good, right? I try to surrender, but my surrender is not good. So what is lacking is my sincerity or determination to surrender to you is not strong enough, right?
Yes,
So
Prabhuji. Mhm.
So I think this way, you fail, but if we can go closer to Krishna rather than controlling, and then Krishna says, like, if you surrender to me, you can overcome it. Otherwise, it's no way possible that you control all these things, right? So every opportunity of failure and this doing the wrong things, we have to take one step further to surrender. Krishna, I cannot. My surrender is also not good. Okay. I said I will surrender, but I cannot surrender 100%. Even if I say I surrender, still I have my desires.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when the situation comes, I try to take control from you into my hand, and then again I fail. Right. So this way, if we keep doing, I suppose means it has actually helped me a little bit that okay, at least I know my situation, right? Okay, I cannot do anything. I cannot control my desire also, and I cannot surrender also, and I cannot give up my desire also. So actually, I am foolish. I am stupid. I cannot do anything about my desires, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So then I think that is much better situation, I suppose, because that at least helps us to chant more sincerely, right? Okay, there's no other option. Let's just chant more sincerely, right? So that way it's positive rather than feeling guilty, because guilty feeling day after day,
Mhm.
it does not help. It actually strengthens watering our ego, that how I can fail. Okay, no, we are going to fail anyway. Whatever we do, we are going to fail. And this is not I am saying, this is all Shastra says, like all the yogis and everybody, they have failed. But Haridas Thakur never failed. right, to any allurement. But Vishwamutra Muni failed because he tried to control on his own, right? But Haridas Thakur was chanting, so he didn't fail in front of the prostitute also, right?
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
if we are doing bhakti properly, surrendering, then it's possible, right? That's what Shastra says. So we
Yes,
should
that is
also take
again
shelter.
like one part of the question, Prabhuji. Like, I'm not able to follow the 8 practices. Then how is Krishna going to, like, take notice of me? And
No, but
like,
like we don't have to do all, right? We don't have to do all 9 processes, right? Any one process also enough, right? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Kali Yuga, chanting is the best. If you cannot do anything, you chant, right?
mm,
So only one of that process is perfect to deliver you to do the bhakti, right? So doing 9, so we have example for each, right?
yes,
So
Prabhuji.
chanting, if you do, or reading you do, or deity worship you do, or you go to or you surrender completely, or you serve the Vaishnavas. So any process you do with 100% your bhav, bhakti, that is enough. So I think it's not necessary to do all 9.
But how to
Whatever,
face Krishna? Like, okay, he knows you're being insincere. Then, like, how to face Krishna? It's like seeing his form makes it.
anyway, see, we in this situation also is Krishna taking care of us, right?
Yes.
Whatever we are doing, still Krishna is taking everybody's care, right? So we are at least trying, right? So Krishna is like, okay, you fail, but at least Krishna says like, you are my devotee. Okay, you are trying, you are failing, you are not able to do, you do wrongly, whatever, but at least you are determined, right? Krishna says in 9:30, right?
Mhm.
If you are determined to do and you don't give up your bhakti process, you are my devotee. I consider you to be my devotee, right? And that itself is our shelter, right? Okay, Krishna says, okay, so I will do wrong things, I will fail, I will do mistakes, but I will not give up this bhakti. I will keep doing. I will keep doing. So I will keep doing mistakes. I will. So then Krishna says like, even if you do mistakes, yeah, do wrong things, but if you keep doing bhakti, don't give up that process. Then you are my devotee. And if Krishna says we are his devotee, then he will take care of that. We don't have to worry
Okay.
how that Krishna will make us. Anyway, we don't have any qualifications, so we'll give qualification also, right? So
Mm.
our is only do
Thank
how
you
we.
so much, Prabhuji. That really helps.
And
Like,
I hope it helps because this is very practical question and everybody face this. So I hope it helps everyone.
thank you so much for this lovely explanation, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. There is one story, right? I heard this one story that um, one yogi in Bengal taking care of his ashram very nicely. Okay. He is surrendered to, so he's fearful. He says, I am not fearful of anything. And so God is watching him. Okay, you are not fearful of anything. So he used to talk with God, right? So he'd say, no, I am not fearful of anything. Whatever you do, I am not fearful. So next day, God creates a situation in front of him where he's going to die uh, because of some animal or some person. And then he starts running. And then he takes shelter of the God and he said, oh, please save me. That person is going to kill me. So then the God says, oh, you said you are not fearful. No, no, I'm not fearful, but that person is going to kill me. So he says, God says, that person is nothing else. I am only that person. So what do you think? I will save you, but I am that person who is going to kill you. And I wanted to show you that you cannot be fearless. Don't pretend. If I accept the reality, yes, I am fearful. Then you surrender unto me. That is more important. So same way. So we have very less capacity in think we should enjoy this. It is one way of reciprocation, like how we fail. And then we understand Bhagavad Gita. Oh, yes, Krishna says, you will fail, you will do karma kanda. Okay, but still you are my devotee. Keep doing, keep doing. So it's okay. No, I think we should not be. Any other comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the nice explanation. Mataji questions also very helpful. I agree that the determination is important. Krishna sees our love and sincerity. Whatever our capacity, we have to do it. We must do it every day, every day. I mean, if we don't do it, we may skip it. But when we feel guilty, I couldn't do, then next day we have to try to do it. Because the situation creates in different people face different situation. Maybe Maya is strong, I feel. We cannot progress in bhakti. But if we depend on Krishna, pray Krishna, please Krishna, help me to serve you nicely every day. If we always depend on Krishna, and whatever we are doing without to give up, if we do little, we can progress. That I understood.
Yes.
In my experience. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
No, thank you very much for this point. Yes, we have to keep doing whatever we can, right? And at the end, we have to say to Krishna, see, I am not able to do much. Okay, I don't have that much capacity. My sincerity is also not good. I am not, but this is what I can do. Right. So I think it's okay. Krishna is very merciful. So he accepts everything what we do wrong, bad.
Yes, but we should not take it guaranteed. Krishna is merciful. Then we will be cheating kind of thing also. So we have to feel guilty. No, I didn't do better. I have to do it better. That feeling should be there. That I realized. So that helps. Then Krishna thinks, oh, really she wants to do. Like we see to better health or something. This is the better situation he creates to do. We can fully depend on him. No other way to win the money.
So just keep doing. And this is actually sadhana bhakti. Doing, failing, but doing again. Failing, again doing. This is bhakti actually in sadhana bhakti. This is what we are supposed to do. We have to chant, we have to read, we have to hear, we have to do whatever possible. And sometimes we go away from the path, again we come. Again go away, again come. This is what we are supposed to do. And this is bhakti. It's nothing we have to do big things. This is what we have to do. This is sadhana bhakti. So I think this is practice, like bhakti practice. Very interesting and very reciprocal. At least I enjoy feeling in whatever situation Krishna keeps, right? And failing and doing the same mistakes again.
Maybe Krishna checks our sincerity also. Maybe, make us to fail. How are we coming back? Or are we really going to material world to enjoy? He checks maybe, I feel.
Yes. Yeah. He likes, right? That's what his not job exactly, but that's what his reciprocation is, right?
If we get more struggle, we may become more sincere kind of thing. When we face more struggle, we get realize. I understood.
Krishna will create so many. If for example, if you always fail to control your desire to eat, for example, okay. So today we will create one situation where we will fail. Tomorrow there will be another situation. So it's very interesting how these things work, and actually by that we increase our sincerity, determination to do practice actually. That's what happens. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Also, next time or some other time when you have a little bit of time, please address like elaborately what Harimohan Mataji asked last time about whether it is our desire or we are doing for Krishna. That pretender part, Prabhuji, some other time maybe.
Okay, maybe next time. She wrote somewhere. She wrote in chat or something.
No, last time she asked it as a question. Like,
Okay. Okay. So next time we'll take that first and then we'll read further.
thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you
Hare
very
Krishna,
much.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I have one question regarding whatever you discussed. So,
Uh-huh.
is it okay? Just 2 minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you were telling that Krishna tests us in like whatever we do.
Hmm.
But like I have heard in many lectures also that Maya Devi also tests us because she is a pure devotee and she tests us in our all like life situations, and she doesn't want any person to just go to Krishna. So she is the one who tests the devotees. So I'm like little confused who tests us, Krishna or
Yeah.
Maya Devi.
So what when we were discussing, right, as a devotee, see, Maya, we say Maya. What is Maya? It's material world, right? It's also energy of Krishna, right? So it's the energy to purify us.
Yes,
So
yes.
rather than looking this at something which is stopping us, it's actually helping us, right? So that energy also helps us to be more sincere, right? So from that angle, like I also heard like, okay, Maya Devi tries to stop us. It's not actually try to stop us. It's helping us to be more
Right.
sincere actually. If we look from the other point of view, that she's helping us to do the same activity more sincerely, more deeply, right? So I think that is also arrangement of Krishna to uh, make us believe that yes, I can do much better, I can do better, I can do better, right? And then that is, I can surrender more. I think that is the positive way of looking at this, what Maya tries to do. Otherwise, it will be, we cannot win with Maya, right? Krishna says we cannot do
Right.
that. So purpose of that is to surrender to Krishna, right? So we focus on that factor of surrendering to Krishna rather than uh, Maya concept. That is much easier to surrender, right? So whatever happening, I'm getting entangled somewhere because I went away from Krishna. I went into ignorance. So now she's trying to bring me on right track. Then it's much better understanding, and wise it's close to Krishna, right? Then it helps us actually. So from that point of view, yeah, it's good. It's all of course Krishna's energy, right? So how we can uh, talk wrong about it? Yeah, it's all Krishna's arrangements, right? So fine. So that's how maybe this you can say positive attitude, or but this is not my attitude. Like this is what Bhagavad Gita also says, right? You keep doing. Krishna says you keep doing whatever happens. You don't give up, right? So you surrender. You in every moment you surrender. So Krishna is looking for our surrender rather than fighting, right, with Maya. He's looking how we surrender. I think if that is happening, then it's good, all good.
Yes, Lord. Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hare
No
Krishna.
problem. Next time we'll take that question first, okay? Pretender type of desire, then we'll go for the next. So next week we'll start fourth chapter, maybe first 10 shlokas or first 15. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Very much.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.